Have you ever felt like someone's words or actions ruined your entire day? Maybe it was a rude comment, a careless gesture, or just one of those little inconveniences that made everything feel heavier. It's frustrating, isn't it? You replay the moment again and again, thinking, why did they have to do that? But here's the truth. No one has the power to control your emotions unless you hand that power over to them. What if you could stay calm, unshaken, even when life or people throw chaos your way? Imagine walking through your day with such deep peace that even the most irritating situations couldn't rattle you. That's not fantasy. That's emotional mastery. In this journey, we'll uncover 10 transformative lessons to help you stop reacting impulsively, release anger, and regain control over your emotions. These lessons aren't about pretending not to feel. They're about learning to face life's storms with clarity and grace. So, take a breath. Let's begin your journey toward emotional freedom. Lesson 1. Your reactions are your choice. Picture this. It's a peaceful morning. You're sipping coffee, maybe enjoying the quiet. Then someone says something rude or inconsiderate, and instantly your calm disappears. Anger rises. You think, why did they ruin my mood? But the truth is, they didn't. You did. Your emotions are your responsibility. No one can make you feel anything without your permission. The world can be loud and messy, but you get to decide whether that noise reaches your inner peace. Imagine you're wearing noise-cancelling headphones in a busy city. The chaos, the horns, the chatter, the constant motion, it's still there, but it doesn't reach you. Emotional control works the same way. You can't silence the world, but you can choose not to let it invade your peace. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, said it best. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Every time someone cuts you off in traffic, criticizes you unfairly, or talks over you in a meeting, that space is there waiting. In that pause lies your power. Try this. Pause. When you feel triggered, stop for a second. Name the feeling. I'm angry. I'm hurt. I'm annoyed. Ask, why am I feeling this way? Is it the event or my interpretation of it? Choose. Decide how you want to respond, not based on impulse, but on your values. The moment you pause, you reclaim control. The rude stranger, the careless co-worker, the inconvenience, none of them can touch you without your consent. You are not responsible for what others do. You are only responsible for how you choose to react. And in that choice lies your true freedom. Lesson 2. Stop expecting people to behave like you. You go out of your way to help someone, but when you need them, they're nowhere to be found. The disappointment hits, and you think, I'd never treat them that way. That's when the Stoic truth comes in. People act from their own nature, not yours. Expecting others to think, care, or behave like you do is like trying to control the weather, impossible, and guaranteed to cause frustration. Each person lives in a different mental universe, shaped by their experiences, beliefs, and fears. When someone hurts or annoys you, it's rarely about you. It's a reflection of them, their habits, their stress, their limitations. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When someone does wrong, it is because they are mistaken about what is good." So when that coworker keeps interrupting you, or that friend forgets your birthday, remember, their actions reflect their world, not your worth. Trying to make them behave like you only creates suffering. Instead of forcing others to meet your expectations, focus on how you respond. A simple practice. When someone upsets you, ask yourself, what was I expecting them to do? Then ask, was that expectation realistic? When you stop expecting people to be who you want them to be and start accepting them for who they are, you protect your peace. This doesn't mean you tolerate mistreatment. It means you stop letting disappointment run your emotions. The Stoics had a saying, "Expectations are the root of suffering." And once you let go of the need for others to behave your way, you'll find something surprising: freedom. Because peace doesn't come from controlling others, it comes from mastering yourself. Lesson 3. Let go of the need to always be right. Think back to the last argument you had. Maybe it was about something small, which route was faster, whose memory was more accurate, or maybe it was something deeper, with someone you love. You felt that tightness in your chest, that burning urge to prove your point. We all know that feeling, the need to win every debate, to make others admit we were right. But here's the truth. That need doesn't bring peace. It steals it. Why do we cling so hard to being right? Because deep down, we confuse being wrong with being unworthy. It's ego wearing armor, trying to protect itself. But what if you didn't need to win? What if, instead of defending your pride, you protected your peace? There's an ancient question worth remembering. Would you rather be right, or would you rather be at peace? Being right might feed your ego for a moment, but being at peace feeds your soul forever. Imagine this. Someone accuses you unfairly at work. Your first instinct is to argue, to fight back, to make them see their mistake. But ask yourself, will this argument really change anything meaningful? Or will it just drain your energy? You can choose to respond differently. You can say, "I see where you're coming from," and move on. That doesn't mean you agree with them. It means you refuse to let the situation control your emotional state. The Taoist philosopher Lao Tzu said, "He who is attached to his views will never grow." Letting go of the need to be right doesn't mean silence or surrender. It means choosing your battles wisely. Some arguments are worth your voice. Most aren't worth your peace. Here's a practice to try. Pause before responding. When you feel that rise of defensiveness, take one deep breath. Ask yourself, will this matter tomorrow, next week, in a year? Seek understanding, not victory. Ask questions instead of attacking. Curiosity cools the fire faster than pride ever can. When you stop fighting to be right, you start fighting for something better, your inner calm. And in that quiet confidence, you'll realize peace is the greatest victory of all. Lesson 4. Don't let other people's words define your worth. Picture this. You share an idea you're proud of, you're glowing with excitement, and then someone shrugs it off with a dismissive comment. Suddenly, that spark dims. You start doubting yourself. Why does one careless remark have the power to crush your confidence? Because we often give others the power to define our worth. Here's the truth. Your value isn't determined by someone's opinion. It's inherent. It doesn't rise when they praise you, and it doesn't fall when they criticize you. When you depend on others to validate you, you give them control over your emotions. Real emotional freedom begins when you take that power back. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." Let that sink in. You already know your worth, but the moment you let someone else's voice drown out your own, you become their prisoner. So, when someone's words sting, pause. Ask yourself, is this about me or about them? Most criticism reveals more about the speaker than the target. Try this. Pause before reacting. When you feel hurt, take a moment before responding. Separate fact from opinion. Ask, is there truth in this, or just perspective? Reaffirm your worth. Remind yourself, My value doesn't depend on their approval. Lao Tzu said, care about what others think, and you will always be their prisoner. That's not arrogance, it's self-respect. When you know who you are, people's opinions lose their grip. You can listen without absorbing, reflect without internalizing, and move forward without resentment, because your worth was never up for debate. Lesson 5. Protect your energy by setting boundaries. Now, imagine this. You're finally having a quiet evening when a friend calls, asking for help with something they could easily handle themselves. You want to say no, but guilt whispers, you're supposed to be there for people. So you say yes, again. And inside, a quiet resentment grows. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. Boundaries aren't selfish, they're necessary. You can't keep pouring from an empty cup. If you don't protect your energy, the world will drain it without hesitation. Saying yes to everyone else often means saying no to yourself. Boundaries are how you teach others to treat you and how you show yourself respect. People aren't mind readers. If you never say enough, they'll assume you're fine. Epictetus, the Stoic teacher, put it simply, freedom is the ability to live as you wish. Freedom begins when you decide where your time, energy, and emotions go. Try this. Be honest and direct. You don't owe long explanations. A calm, I can't take that on right now is enough. Use I statements. Instead of, you always dump tasks on me. Say, I need some time to recharge after work. Stay consistent. People test boundaries. Stay firm with kindness. Setting boundaries doesn't mean building walls. It means creating gates. You decide what enters your space and what doesn't. Lao Tzu said, he who knows when to stop does not find himself in trouble. Protecting your energy isn't about shutting others out. It's about preserving your strength so you can show up with authenticity, not exhaustion. Because when you respect your limits, you're not being selfish, you're being sustainable. Lesson 6. Detach from the opinions of others. Picture this. You share something you're proud of, maybe a creative project, a new idea, or a small success. You expect excitement or support, but instead, someone rolls their eyes or gives that faint, indifferent smile. It stings. You start wondering, did I do something wrong? But pause for a moment. Why does their opinion matter so much? We all crave approval. It's wired into us from childhood, the gold stars, the praise, the validation. But chasing it endlessly is like chasing shadows. You'll never catch them, and the pursuit will drain you. True peace begins when you realize this. Other people's opinions are not your reality. Everyone sees the world through their own filter, shaped by bias, insecurity, and experience. What someone says about you usually tells you more about them than about you. When you let their words define your worth, you hand them control of your emotions. Why give that power away? Your worth isn't up for negotiation. It's not something people can raise or lower. It simply is. Think of it like this. Someone insults you, and it lands only if you choose to catch it. Let it fall. Walk away. Their opinion disappears into the air like smoke. Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. That sounds harsh, but it's freeing. Because when you no longer need everyone's approval, you're finally free to live truthfully. Try this simple exercise. When someone criticizes you, pause and ask, does this person's opinion truly matter to the life I'm building? If not, release it. Picture their words as leaves drifting down a stream, visible but powerless. Refocus on what you value. Anchor your peace in your purpose, not in their perception. Lao Tzu wrote, care about people's approval, and you will always be their prisoner. Detachment isn't coldness, it's clarity. It's knowing that others' opinions are noise, and your inner voice is the signal. Remember, the rain may fall, but it doesn't have to soak you. Lesson 7. Respond with silence, not anger. Someone provokes you. They push your buttons, question your intentions, or say something cruel just to see you react. Your heart races, your mind floods with comebacks. You're seconds away from saying something you'll regret. But what if instead of reacting you said nothing? Silence is not weakness, it's control. It's the art of keeping your peace when someone else is trying to steal it. Anger thrives on reaction. It's a fire that feeds on words, but silence starves it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best answer to anger is silence." Think of silence as armor. It shields you from chaos. It's how you rise above the noise without joining it. Here's a real-world example. A co-worker tries to embarrass you in front of others. You could fire back and escalate the tension, or you could pause, let the silence stretch, and watch the discomfort shift back to them. Because silence doesn't mean surrender. It means you're choosing peace over performance. 3 quiet habits to master. Pause before reacting. A single breath can save 1,000 regrets. Listen without defending. Sometimes people just need to vent. Let them. Their noise isn't your truth. Speak only if your words add value. If they don't, let silence speak for you. A Buddhist saying captures it perfectly. Speak only if it improves upon the silence. We often regret words spoken in anger, but never the words we chose to hold back. Silence gives space for clarity, and in that space, wisdom grows. So the next time someone tries to pull you into a storm, remember, you don't have to dance in their thunder. Stand still. Let your silence be your strength, because true power doesn't shout. It simply stands unmoved. Lesson 8. Practice gratitude to dissolve anger. Some days, everything seems to go wrong. You're late, the weather turns, someone says something unkind, and suddenly you feel that familiar wave of frustration rising. But here's something extraordinary. You can't feel anger and gratitude at the same time. Gratitude is emotional alchemy. It transforms what you have into enough, and what frustrates you into perspective. When life feels overwhelming, gratitude is the reset button for your mind. It doesn't erase the problem, but it rewires how you see it. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. You can choose to stew in irritation, or you can breathe and think, "I'm grateful I have a car. I'm grateful for this job. I'm grateful for this moment to slow down." It may sound simple, but that shift is profound. The Roman philosopher Cicero called gratitude the parent of all virtues, because once you can find thankfulness in difficulty, everything else becomes easier. Try this practice. Pause when anger rises. Take a breath and ask, "What can I be thankful for right now?" Keep a gratitude journal. At night, write down 3 things that went well, no matter how small. Reframe challenges. When something hurts, ask, "What is this teaching me?" Even pain can carry gifts when viewed through gratitude. There's a Buddhist reflection worth remembering. Let us rise up and be thankful. If we learned little today, we learned something. If we didn't learn, at least we didn't fall ill. If we fell ill, at least we didn't die. So let us all be thankful. Gratitude doesn't deny struggle. It transforms your relationship with it. It reminds you that even when things fall apart, you still have breath, lessons, and chances, and that's enough. So the next time anger starts to build, stop. Ask yourself, what's still good here? Because peace isn't something you find by removing pain, it's something you build by nurturing appreciation. And when you live in gratitude, you stop being a victim of circumstance and become a creator of calm. Lesson 9. Reframe criticism as a tool for growth. Picture this. You've just shared something important, maybe your art, your idea, your work. You care about it. You've poured to yourself into it. And then someone cuts it down with criticism that feels harsh or unfair. The instinctive reaction? Defense, justification, maybe even anger. But pause for a moment. What if criticism wasn't an attack, but a mirror? Criticism, when you learn how to see it, is one of life's greatest teachers. It can reveal blind spots, challenge your comfort, and refine your judgment. The problem isn't that people criticize. The problem is that we take it personally. The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus wrote, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, 'He does not know my other faults.' Else he would not have mentioned only these." It's not sarcasm, it's strength. It's the ability to see criticism without letting it wound your identity. Here's a perspective shift. Imagine criticism as rain. Too heavy, and it can flood the ground. But the right amount nourishes growth. You can't control how people deliver it, but you can control how you absorb it. Let's take an example. A colleague says, "Your presentation was confusing." You could react defensively, or you could say, "That's interesting. Which part lost you?" You just turned an attack into insight. The criticism now works for you, not against you. Try this approach when facing criticism. Pause. Don't rush to respond. Let the sting settle first. Evaluate the source. Is this person informed, kind, or invested in your growth? If not, filter accordingly. Extract the lesson. Even poorly delivered feedback may hold a seed of truth. Find it. Use it. Growth often hides in discomfort. If you only listen to praise, you stay exactly where you are. So the next time someone critiques you, don't fight it. Study it. Ask, what truth could be hiding here? Even if the answer is small, that small truth could change everything. Remember, criticism doesn't define you, it refines you, and the moment you stop fearing it, you begin to master it. Lesson 10. Master the art of letting go. Imagine holding a burning coal, waiting to throw it at someone who hurt you. But while you wait, it's your own hand that burns. That's what anger, grudges, and resentment do. They promise justice, but deliver only suffering. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or pretending something didn't hurt. It means releasing the emotional weight that keeps you trapped in the past. Because holding on keeps the wound open, but letting go allows it to heal. The Buddha put it simply, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Think of the last time someone wronged you. Maybe they betrayed you or dismissed you unfairly. How many times did you replay that moment? How much peace did it steal from you? Now imagine what would happen if, just for one breath, you set it down. The person who hurt you doesn't win, you do. You win your time back, your focus, your future. Here's a way to begin the process. Acknowledge what you feel. Don't suppress anger. Name it, feel it fully, then release it. Reframe the story. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What is this here to teach me?" Redirect your energy. Use that emotional charge to fuel something creative, something alive. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not be disturbed by what is outside your power. Let it go, and you will find peace." When you let go, you don't erase what happened, you simply refuse to be ruled by it. Imagine you're holding a balloon filled with resentment. It's heavy, even if you don't see it. When you open your hand, the balloon floats upward, weightless. That's what release feels like. Lao Tzu said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." Letting go isn't weakness, it's courage. It's choosing freedom over fixation, because as long as your hands cling to the past, they can't grasp the present. So, the next time your mind replays that old hurt, ask, "Is this memory worth my peace?" If not, breathe, release, and return to now. That's where your power lives, not in controlling what happened, but in choosing how you carry it. And the more you practice letting go, the lighter you become. Until one day, peace isn't something you chase. It's simply who you are. And there it is, 10 lessons. 10 simple, powerful truths that together shape one of the most liberating forms of strength you'll ever know. The ability to remain calm, no matter what happens. These aren't theories to admire. They're tools to practice daily, quietly, patiently. Because emotional mastery isn't about controlling the world, it's about controlling yourself within it. The Stoics never promised a life without difficulty. In fact, they assumed the opposite, that life would be full of loss, pain, and uncertainty. But they discovered something profound. We can't choose what happens, but we can always choose how to respond. That choice, moment by moment, reaction by reaction, becomes your true power. When you stop expecting people to behave a certain way, you free yourself from disappointment. When you stop needing to be right, you free yourself from ego. When you stop letting words define your worth, you free yourself from insecurity. And when you stop carrying what no longer serves you, you free yourself from the past. Peace doesn't arrive all at once. It's built in small, quiet acts, in a deep breath instead of an argument, in a calm pause instead of an impulsive reaction, in a single decision to protect your energy rather than prove your point. These tiny moments of control are how strength is built, not in shouting louder, but in standing quieter, not in conquering others, but in conquering yourself. Marcus Aurelius, in the pages of Meditations, wrote his thoughts not to impress, but to remind himself to hold steady in chaos, to remain kind amid cruelty, to stay centered in a world constantly trying to pull him off balance. And maybe that's all emotional mastery really is, a conversation with yourself. A moment-to-moment dialogue between who you were and who you want to become. There will still be rude people, unfair criticism, unexpected losses. But with each challenge, you now carry a different compass. You can look at life and say, "This may hurt me, but it will not control me." That is Stoicism in motion. Not cold detachment, but calm engagement. Not indifference, but intelligent restraint. It's not about feeling less, it's about understanding your feelings so deeply that they can no longer enslave you. So here's your final reminder. No one can ruin your day without your consent. No one can define your worth, but you. And no one can disturb your peace unless you hand them the key. Emotional mastery isn't about being unbothered because nothing affects you. It's about being unbothered because you choose what deserves your energy. Each morning, you'll face the test again, the impatient driver, the harsh comment, the unpredictable world. And each time, you'll have the same choice: reaction or response, chaos or calm, noise or clarity. That choice, made over and over, is what shapes your character. And over time, something extraordinary happens. You stop chasing peace because peace starts to follow you. Remember the space between stimulus and response? That's your kingdom. Guard it fiercely. Expand it daily. Inside that space lies every ounce of your freedom, every fragment of your power, every possibility of who you could become. So walk through the world with that quiet strength. Let others rush, argue, or spiral. You stay steady, not detached, but anchored, not numb, but awake. You are the calm in the storm. You are the silence that steadies the noise. You are the one who has learned not to control everything, but to master the one thing that matters most, yourself. And that's how you win not once, but every day. Because no matter what life throws at you, you remain exactly what this world needs most: unshaken, unwavering, and deeply, beautifully unbothered.